What's going on, y'all? Back with another one, back with another one, back with another one. All right. This is PC culture is the new norm. We're going to talk about political correctness and things like that nature. So bear with me real quick. Um, get this live up shortly. I know people, I usually don't get it. Okay. Okay. Let's see. It is the new norm. It's the new norm. It's the new norm. It's the new norm. And let me get set up. Did I get it all set? Okay, good, 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 good. Save that. Right back at people. How's y'all's weekend? It's been good for me. Um, it's been like 2 days. I think last Sunday we talked about longest touch about politics, and we talked about the political atmosphere. We talked about the knowing what's going on, man. Yeah, and we talked about it like last Sunday, and then this past Sunday we talked about the Roe v. versus Wade a little bit, and I want to touch on in this subject right here because I think when the dudes were celebrating when the shit was going down on YouTube, I noticed the men should not celebrate. I mean, if I was them, I wouldn't celebrate so much. You get too loud, and we understand things are changing, the society's changing, the country's changing. For I wouldn't say the better or worse, but it's going to be more of the same, but it's collapsing the same time. As you can tell, people have different philosophies and views, and it's falling apart. And then you see inflation, wars. It's continuation of what you see, what we're seeing now. See the internet now. YouTube is saying they're gonna tell people quit hiding your subscribers and show them, make sure you're verified and things like that. And it's pretty much what I'm saying. Like the policy changes. This is all planned from 2024. So it is a new norm. It's not really. It's a topic, but it also talks about salute Tampa salute. It talks about the Roe versus Wade situation, and then the decision. I know people are tripping, women are tripping. That's why you see a lot of female content creators getting on their feminist content. It's all time high, and then you got the men try to counter and things like that. I mean, the genuine war is very manufactured. I was saying that last year was very manufactured, and it's programmed. People are programmed to think the way they are. Normally, they don't just say things; they just keep it going. I haven't watched a replay of that stream from Sunday Madness. It's pretty much like I got to see how I sounded on that in the conversation, and I want to switch different gears for a minute, use certain things. But tomorrow it'll be the classic Thursday thrills. May show a few screenshots what I've been doing for out of the week and just been watching what's going on. And I'm pretty much sure it's more than the same. People haven't really developed much. And that's just what it is. Yeah, he did. He did. He said that. He said that last year he was tired. I mean, I'm still on YouTube. Rumble, I don't even trust it as much. They just as bad as YouTube. They got that terms of service. I wouldn't trust it. I mean, it's nice, but it depends on what platform you're doing. If I really want to go to Rumble, I have to have a argumentation. I was thinking about it. I said, nah, because I see the terms of service. You got to deal with their label and shit. But that's the whole purpose of putting them on the spotlight, as you can tell. And yeah, make sure people coming through because I ain't trying to do too much. This is like usually a 2 hour segment when I talk about politics and what's going on in the world, current events, but mainly politics because I think the voting aspect gets lost amongst us folks here, so-called black folks or people here. I try to be transparent as I can. So it's pretty much you're seeing what's going on. So I'm in my main stuff, tweak the gain a little bit. Other ones on standby. But I'll switch up in a minute. But I know I'm sound clear right now. Um, Me, I was out because trying to take this long break from the summer, and I'm pretty much like most people. They get their rocks off this new law change or whatever, and then it's the election. You see ads that Stacey Abrams is throwing shots at Kemp about the abortion thing, and it's here, men versus women. You see it in politics. You see it in Georgia. This is a big year for them. Whoever wins this election, I would say not just the Democrats, but the governorship of in this state and other places that's in similar races is going to determine who's going to stay or who's going to be new in 2024. But the things still remain the same. They're going to try to bring that similar law back, but they're not going to call it Roe v. Wade. That's just my assumption of it. They may change the name and they may revise something. I don't know what, because women ain't going for that, because the way I ain't pro women over here, I'm just saying, like, just be mindful. If you celebrate, they're going to take your ass down because they already monitoring YouTube as it is. Just can't be anti women and everything else. And they've been doing this for a while, and this is kind of like the internet war. This is coming down the pipe. You can't really say much because that content's going to be obsolete. So I talk about social issues and people steer from. I don't steer from social issues. I'm gonna say what I want to say, and I'm not really that invested in YouTube like that, especially this channel. But if I had other channel, it'd be tech and sports and where, like we said last Sunday, that's the best route to make actual money and do content. Now, if you try to do the relationships and the political content, I think relationship content is more dangerous than political content. Political content, yeah, you can make money, but it depends on the allegiance. It gets stupid. It turns into religion. That shit's gotta die. That shit concept, and they need to really study proper politics, like I do. I pull out facts, research sources, and things like that, and I read stuff. People say the wrong shit all the time. That's why it's so goddamn dumb, and they just don't envision what they're saying. They just be on some bullshit. So it's pretty much the same old, and then expect me to enjoy it. Things are changing, and I told y'all in a vlog stream about these new video games. They adding different things, and the culture is changing. People are not going for certain things. That's why people's trying to make money. See, the inflation is giving a lot of people some money, and who's surviving it and whatever. I just saw a pre-recording of the well-known in the audio community. He's like one of the kings of it that does tech. I think Bandrew. He had like a podcast I saw, and he said something about inflation and housing. He said, "Don't wait on the short term, but the long term of the housing." He said, "Get it right now. If you get a house and you see it, you get it. You can't wait on no house." He said, "Damn the short term." And that's good advice. I've heard that stuff years ago, but it depends on what your income is. That's why he was disagreeing with that man. And I'm glad he said that because he's not the only one. It's a lot of people like that. He's in a similar situation with someone else. And the comment is he did like a comment section with his podcast and told him they're in a similar boat. But they try to find something years ago. See, people don't realize real estate was booming in 2012, right around 2015. This is where people was moving in. I start seeing this from '07 all the way from 2015. 2015 is where you see the most people um, coming in, especially here, because I've seen a lot of changes. People moved here left and right, and people moved here in '07, like years ago, and housing was everywhere. Everything was for sale before the pandemic. The pandemic came, smashed everything. So people's resetting and they try to find new places. People still looking at houses and waiting for eons to get into, but there's nothing on the market as we see. You got to take what you can get or build it or something. People are not going to wait on something. So it's usually you got to see where people are at in the communities. And normally it's just like I said, political PC culture is the new norm, and you're gonna see a lot of rule changes. You seeing it online. Online is just a light version of it, but once outside or off this shit, it's gonna get a lot worse. Because usually when I talk about political content, it's usually like 2 hours. I don't usually go over 3 hours because my main content I do it every Wednesday. I talked about capitalism before. I broke down conservatism, what it is properly. I had guests, I had panelists. They came left and right. What's going on? Enhanced utility. Long time no see. Salute, salute. And it's just like you see this stuff, it just keeps going and going. And but inflation is just one of the biggest things that people are worrying about. I'm not worried about it. No one has control over it because you got to go by what's going to happen in 2024 or this year, because this year is the threshold year. The 2024 is going to be that year because there's a lot of changes. So they're prepared. Everybody's preparing for 2023. They're preparing for that year. This year is kind of like it's a toss up. I don't know why people don't realize that this is the type of stuff that you're going to deal with over time. So yes, I am doing content again, and yes, I will do it this coming up Sunday. I don't know what I'm going to talk about on the 31st edition of Sunday Madness, and we will get into it. And Thursday Thrills, I'm back. This is like the 24th edition. I'm not going to go back to replay. That was like a phase I went through. Um, I'm going to talk about some real shit and address the nigga shit that's going on, and people be over here on that bullshit. See, Thursday, that's why I do the wild stuff, the thrilling Thursdays. Sundays is like a free for all. You have real conversation and balance it out. But Thursday is when you want to solve your differences. You want to come at us with the thrilling topics, and we just be here. And Thursday night will be what it is. But I ain't gonna allow no bullshit too long. And it's not marathon streams. I keep it simple and light, and then we get the fuck up out of there. You know what I'm saying? It's usually 6 hours is the most. Depends on how long y'all want to spend, because I ain't gonna spend it that long. And you know the time is still the same, 8 something, and I'll end it whatever. Because I don't do marathons like I used to. Because I did that last year. That was the pandemic views and stuff, and the marathons coming through. So pretty much, you just gotta stick with it, and stick with the content that's gonna be, and it's gonna process itself. So it's pretty much people. It's just trying to look for something, and it's not just organically like that. So and that's just how I see it. And yeah, I didn't want to turn the pad off. I turned the pad off, and then there's a lot of background noise and all that. I mean, yeah, I had to tone that down. I had to tone that down. Too much bullshit going on. It was a nice hot sunny day down here in Georgia. It's been raining, but it's been hot in Tennessee for like the past. There's a heat wave going on. So it's like it's just pretty much what I've seen and lately. Yeah, it's been a minute. But if y'all was saying, that's just how I look at 2024, like things like that. Most people just looking at it. And when I was looking at Bandrew's video, he was talking about politics and it's troubling times now. People are trying to look for housing, they look for things that matter, and it's pretty much the same, And I know people's not talking about it. I'm the only one to talk about that. PC culture is the norm. You see new rules changes and things like that. I try to fall back from certain people and stick to my actual content and just keep it like that. And pretty much you see what you get. So I'm not really stuck on the bullshit forever. I'm just trying to tell y'all this stuff happens all the damn time. And I'm not really tripping off things and, just letting y'all know about the frequencies and things like that nature. So I'm actually looking at things right now. So, current climate in politics, and I think I heard something about the Biden administration by Brittany Garner. it's going to come back, and they are willing to make the exchange. And this has been confirmed. I've had several sources I've read from like the Yahoo and things like that. In certain articles, they're saying they're going to make that exchange, and they're forced to. They try to get her back, and they'll give up that little prisoner. I believe they don't want to be led, and I think Russia is being crumbled right now in Ukraine. But I haven't watched Ukraine in a minute, or that little war that they got over there. So what you got now is things are changing. People is doing politics. They talk about political content on here, but it ain't that much. It's really relationship content is still king, and people are gonna watch the shit because that's the new norm, and people buy into it. And they try to make genres out of shit. Well, they should make genres out of all these channels. I mean, they should did that years ago. Stop fucking around and stop playing with people's emotions. People get tired of that bullshit over time, and that shit gets old and daunting. So people need to stop capping on here and just do what you do and just stick with it. I'm not saying people should not do content, but do some real content, every now and then. I mean, the nigga shit is cool and all, but it defeats the whole purpose of what you're doing. So it's pretty much like I'm not worried about the next person. You know what I'm saying? People are worrying about the manufactured genuine war that's already been manufactured. It's not even a real war. I mean, we want it online, but not outside of this. The real fight's in the polls and the laws and legislation. That's the real fight. I mean, men's rights used to mean something, but it don't now. I mean, Red was sharing old boy's video. I don't care for her. I don't know why she don't even mess with dude. All right, he's a well-known it's a well-known trick, and everybody don't like his ass. He's been exposed off air with a certain woman, Irene Yvette, mind you. But who gives a fuck about her too? All them hoes, man. You get what you get. You can't just come and talk that conservatism shit and you fake as hell and ain't got no real content. Like ain't nobody listening to you after that. I mean, I respect the people that's in the audience do listen to him, but I don't give a fuck about that nigga. That nigga is just as bad as the rest of these niggas, man. They need to be obsolete. Go fix your life, nigga. Like I'm ramming heads this year. This is my year, so I can just do what I'm gonna do. And the thing is, niggas still talking about the same old relationship bullshit, and you're really distracting, and then y'all sound dumb. People gonna get tired of you after a while. Oh, they're gonna get tired. They're gonna get tired of you after a while. They're gonna get tired of you after a while. The months is passing. Next year is coming, and things are changing. And daylight saving times will still stand, and there will be no clocks going back. I mean, they're doing it this time, but this time they're not gonna do that next year. So it's official, and I think Biden did that this year. They're not turning the clocks back ever again. They're gonna get rid of that. And that's the thing. And that's gonna start the next year. When the clocks go forward, that's it. It's gonna stay like this for a long, long time. Long, long time. Long, long time. And it's gonna be more daylight. You're gonna see some things that's going to change forever. And I think certain things on YouTube, especially I'll say Google and YouTube because they all in one. Google's gonna control everything. What you're seeing is absolutely what I've been saying the longest. It's going to happen. Make sure it's going to happen. It's going to remain this way for a minute. So we gotta stop capping over here and let's cut the bullshit and just keep it simple. It's pretty much I'm seeing this what it is right now. It is the new norm. It's not stopping, and you got to maintain. That's all basically what political correctness is. Because people try to maintain their little positions, and then they want to correct somebody. But it's like new laws, and you can't say certain things like you used to, and things been gentrified and changed. let's just keep it real. I mean, this site has been finished for a long time. There's other platforms you can still do. I can still do the same platform like I did in other places, and I'll talk about politics and other stuff or tech normally, because YouTube's not the only vein. Well, what's keep people here? It's mainstream. It's a popular site, and the problem is everybody's here. It's a draw. You know what I'm saying? The big creator said the other place is a lot better. You get views better. Yeah, you get a different audience and different people. But a lot of people would rather shut down the YouTube. To be honest with you, I don't even want to shut it down. I just want to do pre-recorded content and just tell y'all that's the way to go, and that's it, and just upload some content and move on. That's pretty much what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, you see this now. Yeah, I'm live streaming right now, so it's only 20 minutes in. So it's 8 something my time, Eastern time. Is 8:36, and wherever y'all, it's probably 7 Central, or pretty much what you're seeing was what you're getting. So you're seeing something that's gonna change forever. So yeah, it was 93 today, but it was like 90 something. And that's just basically what it is. Like, I'm not really tripping out here. I'm not really tripping out here. Oh, it was like 92 today. Dropped to 89. Yeah. Yeah. Just watching a live stream or something. Yeah. I'm just moving the mic around. Shit. Y'all give me a second. I don't know what. I was trying to change this little feature on the phone. Damn it. This thing's raggedy. Okay, dropped to 85. Okay, good. I'm just looking at something. But yeah, I've been busy and doing things and just try to keep up with this political content as much as I can. And, you know, I don't get into real estate conversations because I know it's daunting. People buying houses left and right. You know, yeah, man, it's crazy. Let's go on, fighter salute. And I usually look at these things like from proper numbers and people. It depends on where you live. But here it's like, yes, people still moving here after the pandemic, but crime is bad in the city. But I'm living outside the city, so I'm not really, privy to what's going on because what's the newest thing and people trying to survive out here. It's tough. It's tough to maintain what you have. And you're going to have to deal with the fact that most people are in a situation they have to deal with. So normally you're seeing this stuff. I mean, people still making about the manufactured gender wars and things like that. So you're in the loss of words. So I understand that most people are going to look at their own content every now and then, but I got to look at mine's um, probably tomorrow, that Sunday content, what I was saying, and I'm gonna tweak something and make that standard for Sunday. Certain equipment that I have on deck, and try to get my sound is still right and everything, but I'm enjoying what I have here. But doing this is kind of like inspired me doing this topic. It is the new norm. It's not changing. If you hear rule changes on the internet, that's standard by the government. And until 2024, people are going to change it. We'll know who's going to run and go crazy because all parties are running full force. And it's a lot of shift in the change in the country because this country's damn near collapsing. They're feeling it. They don't like the inflation. They don't like the reckless spending, and people are fighting through. And they said, "No, not me. I'm not a reckless spender. I'm not a reckless spender." And they're gonna look at you like you crazy. So it's pretty much they just like, "Hey, we out here. We're gonna make sure that everything that's gonna be right in our minds." So I'm not saying not go out there, not do anything. You got to do something out there, so you get your voices heard, make some deals, and then there you are. but you can't control bureaucratic bullshit fascists. You just can't control. And I talked about fascism last year. I talked about a lot of stuff on my political World Series systems or playlists y'all can look at. I talk about various things and I put in context what I believe and what's not. The modern day liberals are worse than the other liberals that was in the past. The rest of them were proto, they were trash, they was pathetic, they didn't really do shit. But the modern day liberals try to fake help you. They'll help you to a certain extent. You got to work for it, and then they use you, and there you are. They don't give a fuck about you. Trump was one, and he's a narcissist. One of the worst fucking presidents I would say all time that didn't help people as much. He helped people that he wanted to help, but he didn't help everybody. They just capping on both sides is wrong. He didn't really do much. Cared about himself. That's why he's not president. Even though he'll try to say they cheated. No, you signed the agreement and your ass is out of here. They want to get rid of you. It's just another day in office will be replaced. Biden is just more of an establishment, conservative Democrat of the blue bloods. And we mentioned what conservatism is in its purest form. Democrats are not liberal. I wish people need to stop calling them liberal. They never been liberal. Yeah, they rich, but they're not the richest. Republicans always been rich. They the liars. They the real liberals, not the Democrats. Democrats are the original conservatives because they show their hand in racism. They show it in covertly and overtly. Overtly is worse, and they always go to the Republican side to fool y'all. They try to say they're the C's, but in reality they're the L's. That's just the difference. I wish people quit saying. I'm gonna say the right and left myth because it doesn't exist. Now, if you want to talk about a real right, it's right wing fascism. I said that exists, but right wing conservatism does not exist. I'm going to explain why it doesn't exist. Because it's an oxymoron. How can you be conservative and right wing? You're basically calling yourself a liberal or a fascist, libel fascist. And left, there's no such thing as left wing. To me, when I think of left, I think of anarchists that are not part of the liberal agenda. They're just straight left, straight extreme. They're the polar opposite of the right wing. They're revolutionaries and shit, and they get obsoleted. So don't give people the benefit of the doubt and things to say. So you're saying you're giving them credit. Don't give these motherfuckers credit because if you give them credit, you're giving them power. That's basically what y'all saying, and it's pathetic, man. Like, stop giving these morons power, man. And I'm just gonna tell y'all, it's a bunch of bullshit what people are saying, and pretty much you just out here and just saying how can this person be left and right? I'll talk about it on a vlog stream. I'll talk about it like this Friday. Might call it the myths and just break down what I think. It's really pathetic. And I keep hearing these conversations about it on panels and marathon streams and shit like that. It's just pathetic, man. Like, when are we gonna let go of that bullshit? It's mainly the suckers that teach the shit. It's mere bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, normally you gotta understand that it's usually motherfuckers that want to lie a lot, and that's just what it is. Oh man, I turned a little background, but that's just what I'm saying. Let me turn back the pad on. Yeah, the white noise. Yeah, so I'm pretty much louder than. But I'm just gonna tweak it a little bit. That's why much my hearing. Yeah, got to tweak this interface a little bit. But y'all get the point. Y'all get the point. It's like, why do we have these discussions? They're so dumb to the point. It's just like y'all ain't doing nothing. Y'all not putting nothing in action because this election year for the governors, I believe 2022, the other half, and then they have another half. Like, each year is different. Probably 2025 we're gonna see, or probably 2026, the next governor race. That's probably what we're gonna see in years in time. See, 2024 isn't important. This is the presidency. This is the year. This is the year of change and government. You're going to see a lot of things that's changing, a lot of new cultural stuff. So, when you talk about cultural things, you got to look at what's going on in the world. And that's pretty much what I'm saying. Like, we got to understand that political correctness is always been a new norm. And you got to pretty much like saying, hey, politics is whatnot. So I don't know, and I'm gonna say, is the new changes us in the world be different? They talk about climate. Let's talk about climate change. I don't really care for it. Let's talk about the global climate change, the effects of climate change. Human caused global warming are happening now, are irreversible of the time scale of people alive today, and will worsen in decades to come. They still talk about this global warming fake bullshit. NASA be, but this is climate change, NASA.gov, but and they say Earth will continue to warm and then the effects will be profound. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that's what they have. I ain't gonna read this. They gonna be biased. Yeah, it's just like talking about climate change and all that, but that's just here nor there. We're not gonna get into that. We're just gonna speak on the ramifications of the political stuff that we always seen and so forth. So forth, we just seeing what's what. I'm just glad that we're here at this very moment. But y'all give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back at it again, back at it again, back at it again. Yeah, I'm just looking at my screen, my game screen. Yeah, it's 8:48 right now. I had to do this stream, so around 10, I'm gonna stop it. You know, I'm gonna go in because it's only a 2 hour. I'm gonna be here for 2 hours. So when we talk about the inflation, I think that's pretty much the topics around YouTube. People talking about they worrying about it. They're worrying about it so much that inflation is one of the biggest things that people are gonna start looking at way more in housing. And the housing bubble is increasing, and people, the sheer violence is coming to the world. Because this war is profitable. It's about money and then control. You know what I'm saying? People are just doing whatever. Um, let's talk about little politicals in sports. And I saw this on Fox with Marcellus Wiley and the other guy. He's good. He was a defensive guy. And then he said he ran on some stats about the quarterback. It was an episode. They said the first 5 years, who's going to win the Super Bowl? They won it in the first 5 years. And then he said something about Lamar Jackson. Yes, he can win the Super Bowl this year if he wanted to. And they have a chance that they can't say no because it's the first 5 years and you'll see differences. And it's pretty much the same old, same old. And that's just what it is. People say the tether wars, Nigerians against reparations, the real tether wars. Shouts out to Bunker for posting that. I'm gonna talk about the empire of Nigerians. We're gonna talk about. I'm gonna talk about them vividly. Well, I heard the bullshit from Chaotic and Duke the Don since they're part Nigerians or whatever. I'm gonna talk about it. Can it be a superpower? I will speak on that probably next week. I'm gonna mention it Sunday, and then I'm gonna make a topic about it. That's gonna be touched on, I believe. Yeah, this is coming up. Yeah, next month. I'm gonna talk about it. I was going to talk about it this month, but I'll talk about it next month because this segues to what's going on in 2024 in the future and beyond. All the superpowers, will they last the test of time? You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much it. Wow, Tracy going in hard in the paint, ain't she? Shouts out to Tracy. We ain't gonna get into that. Shouts out to her. She dropped some info on these boot banging. I got a lot of gear videos. I need to just calm down. It's just like what I see right now. People are just panicking and see what's going to change and what's not. You gotta understand, people are moving forward, and some people are scared, and they're gonna risk death, and dying is the thing. The pandemic got everybody reset, and they ain't gonna live forever, and they're done. People make their decisions. People gonna stay here. If they survive, they're gonna maintain the dominance. It's always about capital and gain and power. That's what liberals want. Liberals love being capitalists. Most capitalists are liberal. They're not conservative. I'm gonna tell you that right now. They never was conservatives. Conservatives are actually somewhat capitalist, but they want big shit. They're worse than communists. Conservatives are almost like communist similarities. The only difference is they want to conserve energy, conserve power, and whatever. But conservatives don't really last long. Liberals are the evils of the world because they're fascists. A true fascist is a liberal. You just got to understand what his policies was, and if it goes extreme, you're doing the same shit. As a revolutionary, it's got to be what type of government you want, what type of discipline you want, what type of laws you try to put in your discipline, in your characteristics. That's how people determine how they're gonna move forward long term. So it's just like this. Most people they just gonna be within time, and they expect me not to change anything. So I know people are moving around and say, hey, that's the political atmosphere, and we should not be worrying about it and whatever. Politics is king, man. Like you still got to know what you're talking about doing your research, which I do research, unlike most of these dudes on the internet. And I just fall out and like I says probably regurgitate not necessarily there's sources. There's other sources to back up. I ain't got books to read and to y'all and tell y'all what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Most people they just want to be seen and heard and be ignorant. That's easy to do. If I would have done that, I would have gave this stuff up a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? But I chose this route, try something different to expand. So you gotta understand something. It's the type of stuff that you hear, and you hear this stuff a lot. So yeah, I know I'm gonna sound crystal clear, but it's pretty much what's happening right now. You know what I mean? And that's just how I look at it. You see? Turn this little gain up. And yeah, I'm back at it again, back at it again, back at it again, and we're gonna talk about a little darkness in here. Um, yeah. So That's what I was saying about, just taking responsibility in what you're seeing right now, and what you see is what you get. People are just going to be like, hey, where the changes come? It's going to come, not just within, but you with the testicular fortitude, the men, they have to do their due diligence and also bring peace and stability to the land. So what we're seeing is people are trying to be conservative at the tail end, but not the beginning. So it's like, it's not that much balance in the world. And pretty much it's just like I feel things are coming in, and people is hoping to see a truck. Water's the key element. But survival, people's thinking about war and conflict right now, and that's pretty much what's going on. And I'm just saying, like, you gotta understand this stuff is very, very real. That's the type of content that you're gonna do. So I know this is a problem for most. I know there's other things out there besides the real stuff. So it's pretty much like, yeah, I don't understand why people don't feel some type of way. Let me look at something real quick. I hope I don't have to refresh or do anything in particular, because it's been a minute since I've done a stream, and people just be on that type of time. So I'm just gonna look at something real quick because I know people are not privy to everything. So I pretty much just had a happy moment. But everybody's doing their thing and they're distracted by certain things. So it is what it is. But people like to edit. But speaking of people getting robbed, there was a preacher that got robbed by them whores or whatever. It's really irrelevant. Why care about a preacher getting robbed? Y'all didn't give a fuck about him when he had all that money. Why you give a fuck about the guys that, man, that nigga got robbed? Like, who cares? He put himself in that situation. You get what you get. He know the rules. He knew the rules. He knew the rules when he signed up. You sign up for the shit, you gotta own up to that dumb shit. It is what it is. And you can't just say anything like what's going on. You're pretty much in it. And I'm not telling people what to do and how to think or move. You gotta have certain values. That's the thing, because I'm not really tripping off this like that. So that's on y'all. And I'm not saying shame on y'all. It is what it is, because people are going to get mad regardless of what's coming up and what's coming down the pipe. So I'm in here long term, long hold, because people on the playback. It's 40 something minutes in. So, I had a couple people in. Appreciate people stopping by, because I know this is going to be a 2 hour, because everybody's not going to be in here that much longer. And it's a possibility. I ain't going to end it too early, but, because it's a 2 hour thing, because I may talk a little bit and talk to the audience. Yes, it's the real norm. And what you get is what you see, what you get all the time. And I think that conversation me and Wacky had was about, the red pill stuff. And ain't what it used to be, and it's been tainted with relationships and distractions and bullshit. So when you talk about politics in its higher form, you actually produce that type of content. I know people are not messing with me right now because things is hard out here. Everybody's outside. They stuck to the pandemic periods and stuff like that. I'm just not saying so many words right now. That's just how people is. But people forget that when you're in studios and little broadcasts, you understand that YouTube was like a niche market, and I'm just like, man, like people need to change their ways now because things are changing fast in livelihoods, because of the war and things like that. But America, knowing them being finesseful and dirty they is, they're gonna try to help Ukraine win that war. They said that's Putin on him looking healthy on TV. Not necessarily. No, he don't. He got cancer. He got all types of diseases. He's dying off the rim. He's getting paid big, and it just shows you what time it is as people. It's the men, especially the men, because the men are struggling hard and doing things that they supposed to normally. But thank goodness that you see a world that's changing. So as a whole, because I try not to doze off in this motherfucker, but whoo, need some caffeine so hard, and I'm just gonna let it be. Let me see for a minute, because my brain is loose. I gotta stay up for another hour, and then I'll dip. Ain't 10 yet. Just give me time. My brain's about to go sleep, but tomorrow I'll be in full force. Y'all gonna be excited. I'll be full force. Cause I'm not gonna use both mics. I think I'm gonna use one mic line. Y'all gonna be excited. That's gonna carry me for some hours. I gotta hear the replay. So that's what happens when people are not performing and things like that. Just a little darker. I'm gonna get a darker tone for y'all, but I'm gonna hold this one in here. Other one just chilling. Yeah, put this back in there. Yeah, put that back in there. I'll see something real quick. And my other trusty, I'm gonna set this one up for a minute. I'll set that one down. Yeah, I set that other one down. Ooh, this one, move my stuff over here. Oh, y'all can hear me clearly, but yes, I'm glad the gray circle's moving on this. I like that. I like that. They must have tweaked something. They must have tweaked that. Yo, damn, I'm sleeping. I'm talking about political correctness is the new norm, and I'm drained as fuck. Should have took a nap early, and then I would have been focused talking to y'all because I got time. I got time right now. I got about 2 hours because I already know 9:15 is on its way. You see this shit. Speaking of which, someone's taking his spot. There's talking all this political and they conservative and shit. That shit's obsolete. Ain't nobody caring about that shit. And I'm not gonna do topics like that all the time every Wednesday. And that's just what I see. Everybody with the damn super chats. And most of these hoes, they don't care about what a dude says nowadays. Y'all need to let that go. They've been fake. Just be careful on Twitter. When they talk about politics, they don't know what the fuck they talking about. They're a bunch of yuppie kids that never study it properly. So I used to read books when I was in high school, out of school, and I was forced to gain some knowledge. I had no choice. I had to be the better person of the two uh, children in the family, especially me. So I got more research later on when I got older and enhanced or whatever. Did my own. Learned somebody here yesterday. I mean, not yesterday, but last year about certain things, and I look at it from a different perspective, and then I research. It all makes sense now. All makes sense. So that's what you have in the political sphere and things like that, and then you pretty much stuck what you have, and that's just the bottom line. I know people are looking at the baddest content and people beefing, and I think it's Mo in the so-called beef sector known as the roast and slash. But that's just the political arena, and then you got people who got different beliefs, and they come on panels and claim they're gonna sun people, the knowledge and stuff, and that shit's dead. Nobody wants to hear that. I just like looking at people like, man, people are just crazy. They'll say anything to get ahead. So it's like 50 something minutes in, almost to an hour. So 9:15 is approaching. It's very approaching. So I'm just letting y'all know that put my secondary down, go to my main one for a minute, and let that carry the rest of the way. So it's pretty much I'm just like of course I was using this to see I sound a little darker, so intense, a little sleepy on the side, but but it's all good. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. I'll see something real quick. Oh, this thing is cold. And it's nice. So it's like, you know, put this down because I normally have two. So, you know, the same brand. So I'm turning the gain on this one. Yeah, I hear it. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna see something real quick. I'll be right back, y'all. Yeah, I had to keep it. I had to keep it. I might as well keep this for a minute. I'll get back to my other in a minute. So back with political correctness, I believe, one thing for certain, you just gotta have this thing, this imaginary thing they try to correct something. They really ain't corrected nothing except law enforcement. And that's it. It's a lot of man had power. So, But all things come to an end, don't it? The pandemic phase, everybody being locked in and all that stuff. That stuff's dying off, bro. And I'm just looking at it like this, but most people they just desperate for relationships on here, and that's why people are not focused. I think, like he's saying, one part of the reasons we don't get along is certain things, and I'm glad he mentioned. I'll bring it up tomorrow because I gotta watch the replay of that stream and what my thoughts on it. And I'm probably gonna use one microphone and make it standard for that content. Read some of y'all's comments. Read some of y'all's comments. I heard you. I was forced to learn about economic and finance, including geopolitics. Yeah, yeah. He said, I'm still tuning in and love to appreciate these streams. Yeah, it's pretty much well needed. And just because it's 9:11 right now, 9:11 p.m. Couple of minutes be 9:15. I'm gonna let this one roll off the top and then just say, hey, I'm using my other trusty mic. Like this one too, because this is what I use Wednesdays, and this is what I normally do. I try to keep this on the wraps. It's on two channels, and that's it. Get it going and get it popping, and that's what you have. And pretty much it's just like because the hour is gonna come in real soon. People's gonna talk and do their thing. So when you get full like that, so as we were saying about Roe versus Wave and things like that, politics are changing, changes on YouTube and all that. You pretty much stuck in the same boat like you was a couple years back when he had the COPA laws and all that stuff. It's pretty much the same old, same old. And I think a lot of people don't like people talking about it. I don't give a shit because I do this type of political thing. I just want people to understand that that stuff will never change. And that's what you're gonna see it more often. But that's why I'm saying people's busy around the world, and like I said, oh man, he ain't catching no views and all that. Yeah, the views will come. Don't worry about it. We got patterns what you're switching. People try to intimidate others. Didn't work. So I'm back at it. Almost an hour. It's pretty much, this may be an hour or 2 hours because I don't know because I'm kind of drained. Whew, my brain is like scrambled like eggs right now. We'll talk into it. I have to see. I have to see. This usually a 2 hour or hour. Depends because if I get sleepy, I'll cut it round the hour and 1:30 mark or whatever. We'll see. Because I ain't got that much to say. I was just here to just get my thoughts on the Roe versus Wade situation, the new law passed. I was out for that half of the month. People celebrating or not celebrating. I'll go in depth on it on the vlog streams more and just explain my position of it. They should not be celebrated. I just talked about it in the vlog stream. Some of it I didn't go in depth. They may change it, but don't celebrate. I may have to make a stream call it "Don't Celebrate It" because be careful what you wish for. Things can fucking happen to you. All right, let me switch to the other microphone, and I'll be right back. now back to my actual trusty. We got in here. Yeah, the two channel. And it's pretty much you just hear and I try not to clip or whatever. And like I said, most people they're gonna do what they do, and it's just you gotta have it, because I don't know if I'm gonna make this one 2 hours, but we'll see. We'll see. Because I think if I keep talking long enough that I can, but I don't know if I'm gonna make it 2 hours because I'm kind of drained because I got to stream tomorrow too, and that's gonna be a lot longer. I'll have to get some sleep on that one. That one I'll have to get some sleep, get my brain cleanse or whatever. You'll notice the difference. Same time, 8:15 in the morning because this one it's gonna be like for 30 minutes. I'm gonna get 30 minutes out of this, and then I'm gonna call it quits or whatever because I have to get some rest. Because I said this is normally 2 hours on a Wednesday, but normally I'm gonna do an hour because I think people catch this on the replay, and I gotta see what Sunday was about because I knew we was talking about a lot of things. We talked about the political stuff that's not changing and people getting their moments, and I just unhooked the other microphone and I said, which I was listening to. It's one I previously had in April, and it's pretty good, and I use both of these a lot. They're my favorites. And I said to myself, I'm gonna leave that one off because I prefer one mic. I usually do two mics channels. If people get tired, I'll switch my little modes in and just start talking to y'all. But the other one I'm gonna use for Thursday. Oh, you gonna hear something different. I'm gonna tweak some things, get it in motion, see how it sound. And I try not to use it as standard as proof. And I like what I gotta see how I did on this Sunday. And then probably do a stream on a future vlog stream about it. Talk about my experiences with it. So y'all keep doing what you're doing. You keep getting distracted by the bullshit in relationships. Things will come and be bad about you. So what you see is what you get. Damn, it ain't even padded. Oh, I ain't even pad my sound. So yeah, normally when people talk about Roe v. versus Wade, they see things from a nonsensical or not a integral perspective with how I look at it. I look at it very different because it's scientific, and then people start using the stuff, especially the black man is like the most template sought after person that you notice in the thing. So, it's pretty much let me switch it back to pad the sounds in the background. In pretty much indeed. Indeed. Let me turn up the headphone volume. Let's see the output mix. And it's pretty much, let me see something real quick. And that's pretty much what you see, what you hear. Let me turn the background down. Get my little test in. And that's just what it is. Ooh, that's too loud. That's too loud. Yeah, that's too loud. It don't need a lot. And it's solid. And pretty much you just is saying what you're saying. So I'll get my padded sounds for a minute. So yeah, I'm pad it out. People get too loud, they be on some bullshit, but like, they act crazy, but don't realize they part of the same problem with these liberals with this political correctness nonsense, and that's just what it is. That liberalism shit is dead. It's a bygone age. Needs to change and change for the good. So what I'm saying is, this stuff matters to most people. And most people get into it, they get emotional. So that's how I look at it, you know? And that's basically what I'm saying. It's like, get your shit right. And then before you do anything drastic. So I'm going to pause for a minute. I'll be right back. I got to turn this game down and I'll be right back, y'all. Oh, sorry about that. I had to do something. But, yeah, back on topic, back on topic. And here we go. So, as what I was saying, I'm going to put this other one up. I had two of them out because I normally use two if I'm ready, but I wasn't because I was kind of drained. It's been a long day for me. I'm going to use my other trusty tomorrow. But pretty much, it's just like, in politics, it's just like you got to understand the PC culture is still here because, I only got 7 minutes. I just probably be here for like 30 minutes. I'll just try to stay up and then try not to go dozed off because it's been a long one. Because usually my Wednesday contents is always at 8 something, 8 o'clock, 8:10, or normally, but I chose 8:15, so give it time to boil over. So 30 minutes is in. My thoughts is people still circle jerk and double talk as usual on panels and SBE in their way. Shouts out to Ty City and them and the LBM Coliseum breaking it down, and that's what they doing, man. They got to stop doing stuff to get attention and make it look like they ain't. But a lot of people are just acting crazy. I know people try to say, "Oh, they ain't going there and talk to dude." They just don't fuck with it right now. Like I said, I'm not worried about another individual like that. That's emotional ass people who want to start beef for no reason. Other websites and they got issues, and that's just bottom line. I got some shots for y'all. Like I said, that's an added feature. I don't know about DTN. Cool, we'll talk about that in the future. Oh, I got some interesting shots. And then we're gonna look at some months worth. And I was just looking at that. I might keep this up here. I might add that feature. But that's what I was saying. But if that's what y'all gonna stick to, that's what y'all gonna stick to. Cause I'm not worried about tonight's little bullshit. And that's the culture that you're gonna be in. So you got this JR, the commenter, not a content creator. He wants to be a panelist, and that's how they start off. Being a panelist ain't everything. Tell you that right now. Learn from experience. That shit don't get you nowhere. It don't get you nowhere. And I'm just looking at what it is. What I'm doing. Why they keep showing the ad with this black woman? She says, I want to know myself. And she ain't looking like nothing. Like a dude with that hairstyle. Ugh. What's wrong with women, man? Like, I don't know what they put in the food. They made our women look terrible. And this woman's just worse than Kevin Samuels. She gonna be the new Kevin Samuels, and then she's showing off her shit. She's aggressive as fuck. That's all I'm gonna say about that. She aggressive as fuck. He said Pookie strikes again, woman left. See, this type of shit niggas talk about, they ain't got no content, bro. They over here being paranoid. So what you got is right now, people are just like what we're seeing, what we're getting. And I normally don't drop the link, and I'm not because I'm kind of like a little drained. I won't be like this tomorrow. No joke. Where I'll be ready. I'll be super ready, and y'all gonna be like, "Oh my god, this nigga's super ready. He's super. I'm ready." You know. Let me stop. Quit being a jackass. Yeah, I gotta stop being a nigga for y'all. Y'all know how I get. Y'all know how I get. It's a little bummed out with that little entertainment. And just, you know, I'm just looking at it like, okay. But I don't realize how people are so gullible to believe in the right and left myth. I'm gonna call the myth of the angles of the ideology. And that's just what it is. I don't get why people just deal with each other accordingly. And they're so damn hard headed. But things are about to change. Little changes coming the way. And like I said, you can't do what you do right now online. And it's just like you got to bring some facts and instead of yelling and screaming, they ain't worried about it. But I doing my best to keep y'all as afloat. Keep y'all as afloat. S- Of course, they always go for the bag. Don't give them nothing. But that's how they maintain. But with y'all, I appreciate y'all that coming through tonight because normally this is like my normal nights on Wednesdays, and I'm glad I'm back and I'll do this again and I'll do this like next week or whatever. So it's pretty much it. So Thursday Thrills is gonna be expiring. I'm gonna get some rest on that one, and that one I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm on fire because Thursday is one of those days I cannot wait. And once I get this shit on fire, I'm gonna be on fire with it, right? Because Thursdays is one of them days I gotta have some rest, refresh, burn out, and next thing you know, I'm gonna do some damage. Because Thursday is one of my days I'm gonna do some motherfucking damage. And y'all gonna see it's gonna be worth it. Once I get my trusty other piece of equipment or microphone, I'm gonna be like, all right, this is gonna be it, and this is my little thing that's gonna record on, and we're gonna be go straight forward. Missed out on a lot of stuff. It's only 15 minutes. crack my hours in. So 9:31, 9:31, pretty much it. 9:31. I'm just saying this to y'all that this stuff can be daunting, man. Like you got to do your diligence and do your research. And pretty much it's like, I'm glad I'm doing this. I'm glad I'm doing something this year. Just improve. I've been talking to y'all wild with another piece of equipment that's connected to a computer with its own cord. But I said, I'm done with those phases. It's good after a while. I could have done it all month. And I said to myself, that ain't going to happen. Thank God for not following that route. I like the route every now and then, but sometimes you just can't do that. Once I saw another piece of equipment that I need, that matters. That matters. And I'm going to stick with that. And I love it. Love it. And I stay with it, and I think I made a good investment on it. So might get another piece to see what works. And that's just me. People don't have to like it. I stick to what my case was. And it gets like that and it gets intense. But speaking of people traveling, I mean, Kuda's doing content left and right. I ain't never seen him do this type of content. Like since the marathon days in the summer, around this month, I was on his panels just chilling. I wasn't trying to do a lot of content then. I mean, I did in July with no gear, and I said to myself, when I look back at those old videos, I was okay, but I need to be more amplified and more approachable. And that's the thing. You get in these moments and you see things that's going to matter. And when you get to that place, you get a lot more into it, and then you start dealing with your type of stuff. So yeah, this stuff it's not going nowhere. So the tree huggers, aka global warners, so-called global warners, they make me sick all the time. So politics is business as usual. And we talked about the Brittany Garner earlier. If it exchanged for those Russian spies or whatever they are, it's pretty much Biden is going to get that full control. Oh, it's gone nicer. Salute, salute, salute. It's been a long time no see. But I'm still here. Y'all should know that I'm doing this, and I think all people should know. I've been distracted with White's network. I ain't watched the news in a minute. He does the Rockstar games and stuff. Did okay in Grand Theft Auto. I had to give him a little okay. He's mediocre in GTA 5, but everything else he did good. So it's pretty much what I expected. What I expected. What I expected for a novice type player, and you got a bunch of them on YouTube, and that's standard. But what I noticed, they don't play the music, but they play that talk radio to save their little channels and stuff, which is a good possibility. And that's why we've been talking about it. Trying not to disappear. But like I said, man, you got to do what's right. And normally I'm just only here just chilling and just got one mic line in. So I put the other one up. I said, you know what? I ain't gonna talk like this for 2 hours because my brain is shot. So try not to rest a little bit, get some water. I don't know if there are any caffeine types usually tea, but I ain't got nothing on me, so I'm kind of shot, y'all. Y'all gotta forgive me because it's been a minute. So, oh, appreciate y'all. Yeah, that's what I like to see. Appreciate y'all. It's been brain has been shot. So, what we're seeing right now, things are changing in politics and the world, and it's pretty much you just saying what you're saying. So, and it's like one and the same, one and the same. So, I'm not really tripping off of anything, in other than just sticking to my actual content, and I'm just like, we over here now. So, like I said before, and I say it again, teach his own. And it gets to a certain level, you just got to realize that's the thing. And that's how you look at things in so many words. But and it was one thing that I've noticed that people talk about and they don't talk about is how legislation does change the environment of how you live or whatever. And the expenses were too high. God, it's about money. Mm. I gotta rest my brain after this, cause cause I ain't nothing to drink to stay up. Cause I knew I wasn't gonna do 2 hours, cause this is something vital information. Just be careful. Yeah, PC culture is the norm. It's like a response to the overturn with that law for women and things like that. But they'll get it back in some weird legislation. Next thing you know, some fool in the E house or whatever house is gonna find you. And that's what you gotta look at in so many words. But quiet as it's kept, that's how you gotta look at it. You know what I mean? Oh yeah. Genuine interaction. Yeah, interaction is cool. I love it. That's my engagement level on here is just it's probably super high, but enough to talk about statistics and things like that. You know, sports, politics do go hand in hand. Rule changes, money, housing. We talked about inflation. Inflation is one of the biggest people worrying about buying a house because inflation. A lot of people do bad decisions and bad purchases. So, as we can tell, this is not a very long string because normally I usually do 2 hours. Next one is going to be 2 hours because we're going to talk about it and we're going in depth on a lot of things. So I'm just waiting for the 30 minutes and just keep my head up, above water. And I'm just like happy to the fact that people are just willing to make those changes. And yeah, yeah, because I was looking at Kuda shit. He was talking about traveling, SBM, and that little politics. But them dudes is brainwashed. We call them. I call them trims, by the way. Yeah, I know the other niggas stopped calling them that. They weak asses, but I call them trims, trans identified males. So we're gonna keep it that way. Trims. And they get upset. There we are. And it's pretty much what I said. I stand on the disrespects like I did last year and this year. And now people looking at you like you crazy. That's basically what it is. I know people ain't gonna look. And you just gotta look at what people are saying at this point. But yeah, YouTube is very changing. It's been like this forever. This 10 years ago they was changing shit, and then 10 years after it got worse, and now they want to restructure shit. That shit wouldn't matter. Ooh, shoot. Almost dropped my handheld. I'm kind of tired, yo. You know how it is. It's been a long day, and your brain gets, and the fluid just goes and just goes boom, and just it's like a nuclear bomb is about to go off, but it ain't. Oh man, man, these people tell on themselves. It's like wow. Mm, mm, mm. Yep, everybody's on a roll. We're right at it. We're right at it. Cause cause it ain't much. Cause I keep pausing and things like that. But I think the whole purpose of looking at it now is, some things people talk about Roe v. versus Wade, and that's why a lot of people just don't do the racial stuff. And the black man was accused of the typical R word rhymes with ape, but we're not gonna get into that. That's a whole nother um film on that. So we're gonna keep pushing and things like that nature. But as like I said, this is a continuation conversation because I'm not gonna stay up too long with this. I meant to go 2 hours, but my brain is tired because if I'm well rested tomorrow and then come back around right at a time like 8:15 and then go on Thursday, it's gonna be banging. Y'all be there. Yes, this that will go 3 hours, and once I get some rest, I'm gonna be fully charged and I'm gonna be destroying shit. And it's gonna be the type of shit that you're gonna see that Thursday Thrills have to offer. Yes, I'm gonna try something different, and it's gonna work. It's gonna work. So pretty much, you're just gonna hear me what I've done, because I remember Sunday I gotta hear the replay. Last Sunday, me and Wacky talked about. We talked about actual stuff that is red pill, not the sexual shit. That's distractional relationships. That's what kind of deter the whole thing. So not pro manosphere or none of that, but but I appreciate everybody coming through. Enhanced utility, the beautiful ones, aka Cycle Candy, Nicer. Who else came through? Fighter, Tampa. Appreciate y'all coming through. Yeah, because it really means a lot. Because I just want to put this out there and just say, hey, because tomorrow I'll just be there with the Thursday Thrills, same time. I might add a few things in Sunday Madness 31. So with that, peace, and I'm out.